In this video, we're going to talk about how rituals can make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. So stay tuned. Inspire the best version of yourself with tips and skills you can implement right away. Look, it's a mind, body, and soul connection, and we all know that when we feel better, we do better. Your future starts now. Hi everybody, my name's Michelle Rohde and I'm your local financial advisor and wealth coach, and this is Design a Life You Love. Today we're going to talk about how rituals in your life can make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. We all want that, right? So what comes to mind when you think about rituals? Well, they've been around for a really long time. So rituals exist in history as far back as we can tell. So for the cavemen, for Native Americans, you can think about different rituals they had, different religious and spiritual rituals that are in place. So if you go to church, think about the rituals that are there. Or think about the different cultural rituals that you may have experienced in your own family. What do those look like? What do you really treasure and value as in terms of rituals, or what are you maybe taking for granted in your life that are the rituals that already exist? And I think it's something interesting to look at. We have a lot of rituals in different areas of our life. They've been there for a really long time, but why? Is there magic? Is there power involved? Is there some science to it? I mean, if humans have been performing and taking part in rituals for centuries, since the beginning of time, they've got to be pretty significant, right? They've got to be worth doing, you would think. So we're going to dig into that today and look at why rituals exist and how they can help you. So rituals often are something that you repeat over and over the same way. Sometimes they can be sacred, and sometimes they're just habits that we perform. So rituals can be good and rituals can be bad. So you can think about having good rituals in place that may help your health, your fitness, your nutrition, or your financial goals. But there may be some rituals you have in place that are not healthy. So you can think about kind of an extreme example would be somebody who has OCD. You know, they have a certain number of rituals or patterns they have to repeat before they can do an activity. Like maybe they need to check the door 20 times, the lock on the door 20 times, wash their hands 10 times before they can go to bed. That's their ritual. Okay, so that's like an extreme example of one that may not be serving them, maybe aggravating or frustrating. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we all have a ritual of hopefully brushing our teeth once or twice a day. That's a really good one. And then there's ones that have maybe more meaning. So those could be ritual traditions that we have in our families, that we do maybe especially around the holidays or in church services, things like that. So there's a wide spectrum of rituals that we have. But the ones that are serving us are the ones that I want to look at, okay? How can those help us in our life? Well, they can provide us a sense of peace. And they do that because of the consistency, the stability. They become habit. They provide you comfort because they're always there. You know what to expect, no surprises, and so you can find comfort in repetition. And there's not anxiety there because you know what to expect. So when you have anxiety, when you have the fear removed, you can start to relax, to find peace in those moments. There's space in those moments, and there's room to grow in those moments where those rituals are. And so I think that's why rituals have stood the test of time, because they provide people a sense of comfort, a sense of peace, a sense of space, and space to grow. Then there's also success that can be grown, that is bred in the grounds of rituals. So if you look at successful people who have what you want potentially, I think you'll come to find that these people have rituals in place. And so the name of this show is Design a Life You Love, and that's what I'm trying to show y'all how to do once a week with these videos. And one way to do that is to make sure that you have rituals in your life, to be purposeful with intent about creating your daily routine. So take it a step beyond just brushing your teeth and create another ritual if you don't have any in the morning or in the evening. So I'm going to go through a list of different kinds of rituals. You might want to grab a piece of paper or pull out your phone and start jotting these down. But I've got about 8 to 9 different rituals that you can have that I want to give you as examples. So number 1, you can have nutritional habits like meal planning or prepping. Maybe you do it on a Sunday. Or drinking tea every morning or every evening to relax. That could be a ritual, just something you do every single day that you kind of settle into that's relaxing. The second tip is to make sure you have solitude, and I think this one is important no matter what your goals are, to make sure you have some time to yourself that's quiet, that's removed from distraction. Even if it's 5 minutes that you're stealing for yourself, that is so super important to your mental sanity. So what you do in that solitude is going to be up to you and your personal preferences, but it could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be prayer time, just mindfulness about being in the present moment. If you're outside listening to the birds chirp, watching the wind blow the leaves, being present and not thinking about the future or the past, really grounding into your body and reconnecting for a minute. Number 3 is visualization. So this is different than being in the present moment, having the solitude, the mindfulness, and the quiet time, because visualization is actually harder work. It's thinking about the future. It's using your creative mind to see yourself in a future situation that hasn't happened yet. So that's different than being in solitude, quiet time, mindfulness, and being in the present moment. But it's equally important. You think about Olympians who've achieved their goals, it's because they constantly visualized themselves winning, succeeding over and over again. So that's really important. Number 4, another ritual that you can have is writing every day. You can journal out what happened during the day, just get it all out on paper, good or bad. Or you can also make a point to journal about things you're grateful for. So that could be your daily activity is to feel into being grateful with gratitude, things you're thankful for. You could also write down your goals every day, so you just kind of reconnect to them very quickly, or read them to yourself. Another thing you could do in terms of writing, if that's a ritual that you want to have, is to kind of like what we call storyboarding. You write out the story of your ideal life. So you just get creative, you get imaginative, you get playful, and you write out, like if you imagine yourself winning the lottery and it's a really, really big lottery, what would you do with your life? You need to write that down. You need to visit that kind of situation at least once. So that's fun to do. Another ritual that you could have is maybe the night before you start your day, write out a to-do list. Just plan your goals for the next day. That's really quick and easy. That kind of ties back into that first one with nutritional habits. Maybe doing your meal planning, your meal prepping once a week. That's a ritual. 6, another ritual is simply exercise. Exercising daily can become a ritual for you where you have created a sense of space and peace and comfort in knowing that you have this time and space to exercise every day, and it starts to feel really good. Reading can be another ritual that you have, either just for fun or for something more serious like your education or personal growth. Just creating that habit is a really good one to have in order to grow. 8, another ritual is communication, which is super important. Maybe make sure you're having conversations with each one of your family member every day without being distracted. That can feel really good and make everybody else feel really good. Again, it can anchor you back into the present moment, which is important. I actually heard somebody say this at one of my vision board events. I was talking about rituals that we have in our life, and she offered up this experience that she has every day. And she said, she gets a kiss from her grandmother and tells her that she loves her, and her grandmother tells her that she loves her every day. And on the days where this doesn't happen, she said her days are just off. They don't feel good. That is a perfect, beautiful example of a ritual and how they can provide peace and comfort and a more positive day. So who wouldn't want that? Put those kind of rituals into your life that feel good. These are things that don't need to feel bad or hard. So if I'm mentioning something on this list that sounds really good to you, maybe implement 1 or 2 into your life. Don't overwhelm yourself. And if it feels good, keep it. I think you'll see better results in your life by doing so. And that's what I'm trying to speak to today, is making you realize the importance of having these rituals because they make your life better. And that's what this show is all about, trying to find ways to design a life that you really love, that you are excited to get up for and conquer your day. And every day, having that extra energy, that extra love in your heart, is what this is about. So think on that one. That was a beautiful example I loved hearing. And then maybe another one is just finding ways that you can relax. So a lot of these rituals I mentioned are great ways to relax. Or maybe you just need to add a little extra self-care into your routine, like getting a massage once a month, or going outside and just laying in the grass, soaking up the sunshine, swimming. Summer's coming up. There's a lot of great ways to relax, and it's important to make sure you have ways to unwind. So I just wanted to share those rituals. I hope they help y'all. I know that's a lot. Those are a lot of different rituals. Please don't do them all. You'll overwhelm yourself. You'll wear yourself out, and that's not the purpose of this. Again, like I always say, you want to start with your goals, start with your why. That will help you determine maybe which rituals you want to implement into your life, and go from there. And make sure with whichever ritual you pick for yourself in your morning or your evening routine or your weekly routine or your monthly or your yearly routine, that you stay in the present moment with these, that you're not just doing them to check them off the list, because then you're defeating the purpose. Make sure you're really relishing those rituals that you have and that they're serving you. And then even better, try to track your results and see what happens from the moment you started implementing those into your life. Did you see big things happen? Did you start to see little synchronicities, little serendipities? I want to know about those. So share them with me and let me know if there's any other way I can help you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.